Welcome to the Tearing It Up podcast. I'm your host, Taryn. We'll be tearing it up, tearing it down, and tearing it apart, dissecting all things related to those who deviate from the standard. From leaders of their industry to leaders of mediocrity, and maybe a gear review or two thrown in. We shoot the shit and let the conversations flow, so if that's not your style, this may not be for you. Otherwise, listen in. Hope to light a fire in you somehow. Hello.
Hello.
Happy April when everyone's hearing this. We made it through March, Women's History Month. We had a killer lineup of guests for the month. And as I was thinking back, I'm like, I'm not hesitant to say that we had amazing guests for March and Women's History Month because we did, but I'm like, but damn, this whole year already we're 3 full months in, and like I said, just had so many amazing guests. I keep thinking back to who's been on, and I'm just blown away that we have had the people that we've had, and I'm like, gosh, where do we go? We keep going, obviously, but I'm just like, oh, my list I've had of like some days is like dwindling, and it's an amazing thing to see. And I'm so excited to be able to just continue to talk to more people and talk to these women like multiple times.
Yes. Yeah, I think we should start revisiting our list.
I know you actually have said that a couple times, and I'm like, yes. And then all of a sudden there's like a docket of new, and I'm like, oh gosh, but yeah, it should probably go through that for sure. Got a couple.
Maybe we can do like a social media thing where we're like, what episode did you guys listen to that you have more questions on and want to hear more from which person?
Yeah, that's a great idea to put that out there and kind of see what topics, because usually with everybody we do it's kind of everything, the whole shebang on the first conversation. And so we want to go further into a topic, and we're just trying to get the whole big story and outline. So I would love to hear from the listeners on that. That would be cool to put in a poll or a question or something like that. Maybe even I could make a actual like poll or survey to send out in the email, and also put on just as a link on the social media. That would be fun information to collect for sure.
Yeah.
Because we always want to know what you, the people, want to hear.
Hi, guys.
Exactly. But today you get to hear from Amber, another TNA. So actually I did a podcast. By the time this is out, that podcast may be out too. I was a guest again on a podcast it's called Guides Gone Wild by Jen Clark. And I'm in a group with her, the Wild Women Podcast Society. This is my second round in it. It's a 3-month kind of cohort thing. And so Jen and I joined the first cohort of it, and we're back in the second. And she had seen some posts of mine, and I think listened to some episodes, and was like, oh my gosh, like I want to have you on my podcast and chat. And so that was just amazing to do and have and get out there. And as usual, I was going somewhere specific with this. We were talking about our episodes, and she's like, I even love when it's you and Amber. Like, I'm like, yeah, our TNA episodes. She was like, that is the best like name for them too. Can we talk about that? Like, can we just talk about how the TNA is just the best? Like, I know. I'm glad that you get the reference. I love episodes. I've gone back and forth so many times about just labeling them like TNA number whatever, having their own kind of series, if you will. But yeah, that's what you get today. A little catch up, because again, it's been at least a month since it's been just us. And I think that's good. I like that. You never know what you're gonna get, how many TNAs in a month you're gonna get, but So it's spring now. We've gone through spring forward. It's light until like after 7 here in Tahoe.
Less.
However, it's not light until around that time too. Kind of looking at 12-hour days right now. So I kind of went back in the sleep hole. I was feeling good getting up early, and now I've just kind of fallen into like, oh, it's hard to get back up. But I just wish we'd stop doing daylight savings.
Fucking A, man. You and me both.
I just don't care because at some point in the year it would be light at this time, whichever you choose. We just have to get used to when that is instead of this constant switch once you get in a rhythm or something. It's so freaking annoying and useless.
Yes.
Like if anyone
Yeah.
can tell me the reason for it this day and age, I'm all ears. But as
Yeah.
far as I know, there is no point anymore
Yeah.
besides screwing shit up.
Yeah. Fucking everybody's shit up.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Bastards. What are you drinking?
All right, so we're not gonna tell anybody what time of day it is. I'll just say it's about that time. Um,
Yeah.
but it's a White Russian.
Yes, bitch. I thought it was, but I wasn't certain, so I
You
asked.
know, I've just been going through this phase. We talked with Emily Holland recently, right? And a lot about sobriety and pressures and all of that. And I go through phases where I don't want to drink, like for whatever
Yeah.
reason, you know, my sleep, my focus, emotional state, whatever. I also go through phases where I'm like, I want a beer at
Always.
yeah, like today, I mean, I had to run to town and then so coming home, I was like, maybe I'll stop by the brewery and have a quick beer before like this call I have at 3. I'm like, people have lunch beers all the time in the middle of their workday.
Fuck yeah.
But they thankfully, they weren't open by the time I had to leave town and go back up. But I don't know why. Like I said, just some days I just crave one. And so I'm home and not going anywhere. And I was like, we're gonna sit down and do this. And I've got work to do after this. That's not going to be affected. If anything, it's going to make it better because my creativity needs a little like boost, unless the opposite effect happens and I take a nap, but that's not going to happen. But yeah, I had one of these in my fridge from far too long. So I bought these White Russians in a can in freaking like December, like around Christmas or New Year's.
When
So
we were doing cocktails with Hillary.
yeah, so like that's how much I drink at home. Okay. This has been there for
Yeah.
like 3 months that I was like, all right, I just wanna like quick one hitter
Oh,
quitter
knit.
kind of deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, and who doesn't love dessert in the afternoon before dinner?
Mm, I
And
love
I
it.
had this cool glass, so I'm like, let's just do it. And Andrew was at the brewery, and I was just feeling like a little FOMO because tonight's kind of my only chance to hang out. I'm just busy, and I was like, well, I'm not going back to town, that's for sure. So, anyways, I'm just having fun by myself and well with you now.
Yeah. Perfect. Hi.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, April, it's spring, doesn't feel like it around
Yep.
my parts. Snowed last night. Just a couple inches or a few inches or something, hard to tell again because it was windy and there's more snow in the forecast over the next few days. Again, not uncommon here in Tahoe, but we did get hit with some heat and sun and right around, like that actual springtime on the calendar. And then yeah, we've reverted back because I started thinking and posting a lot about biking, and I was like, I'm ready to bike to town. We can't get on any dirt for a while, that's for sure. But I was like, whatever, I'm gonna get on the pavement, and we've got paved bike paths around here. And I'm like, yeah, I could be done with winter, whatever. But you know what? Now I'm like, oh, cool, sure. If there's enough that I can go snowmobile this weekend, I would love to do that.
Yes.
But
Yeah, I'm
how's
gonna go up to Wenatchee and visit Mission Ridge to watch the homies do some downhill bank slalom races. Bish.
oh, that's where it's at, huh? What's this one called? Do you know?
The bomber banked slalom, I think.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, you
Yeah.
mentioned Big Slalom, and I just instantly went to Crystal. Uh,
Yeah.
so that'll be
Nah.
fun. Have you been to Mission Ridge?
Yes, I have, and it is amazing. It has a phenomenal old school mountain feel, and you can see all of the city below. It's really awesome.
Oh,
They
I have
build,
been there. I don't know why I made that face.
yeah. Well, I mean, after as old as we are, it takes like a while to be like they're all the same, but
Yeah.
some are different. And they usually make this really cool igloo bar situation. So I'm really hoping there was enough snow up here this year to do that.
Mm, yeah, interesting. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, obviously I don't know. I'm not there. And also on that side of the heels, I don't know if it's any different or what, but
Like I'm pretty sure it snowed yesterday.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, saw some stories this
Yep.
week that
That-
there's some snow up there too. So, but again, Crystal, but I'm sure that they're not far off if the storm hit.
Yes.
So yeah, well that's cool. What else? How else is the weather up there so far, or your spring? Did you do spring
Good.
break yet with Quincy?
Next week. Yep.
Us too.
Next
The first week
week.
of April.
Yeah, I think everyone is on that schedule, which is
It's probably,
awesome.
I wonder if it's just because of how Easter falls this year.
You're so
Because
smart.
okay, so all this actually, I've never known how Easter is decided because, Thanksgiving's the third Thursday of the month every year.
In
Christmas is obviously
November.
the 25th. Easter is just so random. It could be the end of March or like the middle of freaking April, it seems. And all of them, like, I don't know, it's 40 days from Lent, but I don't know who decides when Lent starts or what. I'm not Catholic or anything. I don't know the actual meaning behind
Yes.
it. But so Andrew's mom, she was raised like Catholic. They were, and even Andrew, up until a certain age, he went and did all the things they do as children, the classes they have to take. What's it, communion?
Yes.
Yeah, he had to do all that stuff because his grandmother was very, very by the Catholic book. You never missed church or the masses on these holidays. So we're talking to Janine, and she was like, "Oh my God!" Like she was thinking, like, "Oh, it's something to do with this, that, the other," and then we got no answers. I'm like, "I'm looking it up. I have to look it up. It's determined by the moon."
Yeah.
The first thing I read, I was like, "This can't be real. It's a very Christian holiday. Like."
Yeah.
What kind of woo-woo website am I reading that's trying to put this out there? And then I kept digging. I'm like, wow, everything says this. And it actually says, like, despite all other Christian holidays or anything, Easter is by the lunar calendar, and it's the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Interesting.
right?
That's some
So
witchy shit right there.
it is. It is. Like I said, of any, Christian holiday, I I didn't dive deep enough to figure out why or how they decided that. I just still was just so blown away that they actually went by the moon.
Yeah,
But
not
that's why,
zombie Jesus
yeah,
occurrences.
exactly. I'm like, well, isn't it just settled by the day he rose?
Risen.
Re-rose?
Roses.
Yeah, he roasted. Um, but yeah, there you go. Hopefully a lot of people just learned something because I don't
I
know how many
freaking
people
hope
knew
so.
that. Because you know what?
I don't think I did.
Anyone I've ever asked doesn't know.
They're like, yeah,
You know
because
why?
we're Catholic.
They don't ask questions.
Yes.
Just do what you're told.
Yeah. Or it gets the stick.
Just kidding. Everyone out there, don't be offended at our jokes. Like,
Or just deal with it.
we love you as you are,
Yeah.
but we don't subscribe.
100%. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Anyways, that is this Sunday. And so maybe with that being this Sunday, it was easy to start spring break after, but it could have been just as easy to do it the week before because it's on a Sunday. So what the fuck
Mm-hmm.
does it matter? But spring break, I think being at the beginning of the April
Spring
just makes
break.
sense. Makes the
Yeah.
sense. So you guys got any
Um,
fun plans for it?
yes, Quincy really wants to go on a train. So,
Oh,
as a family with Murray and Quincy, we are going to go take the little link rail down to the LeMay Museum and visit that.
oh,
'Cause
fun.
Quincy's car obsessed. So, that'll be like a first little introductory train ride. And then eventually, I want to like go down to Portland with him and do that whole thing. So,
That would be
on
cool. I
down
mean,
the
that's a
road.
short ride to Portland, and he's old enough,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
handle that. That'd
And
be so fun.
it's
Just go
so
get lunch
pretty.
and go see a movie or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out.
that would be so, so fun. Well, I'd be totally down to do that when I visit this summer if time and schedules
Okay.
allow at that point. Just to be nice summer day, go find some
Yeah.
bikes to ride
But
around or something.
also, the thing with going down to Portland is they have all those radical hikes along the Columbia River Gorge, and it's like I just it's hard to take a bus down or like
Yeah,
public transportation down there without being able to like go and do your thing. So maybe I'll just have to like look into some like something or other. I don't know. I'll figure it out, but that is the plan.
that's cool. I love trains and so does Andrew. So we both would go on a train ride.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my first train ride was to Portland with my grandma and cousin, and
Nice.
we just went and like stayed the night in Portland. I can't remember if we stayed 1 or 2 nights, but yeah, it was so much freaking fun. And yeah, my grandpa was a train engineer
Cool.
for
Woo-woo.
Pacific, Union Pacific. Um, but yeah, so much fun, so much fun. That's what I also love about up there. However, we have trains here. We have a train station in freaking Truckee. Um, So I always think about going down to like the Bay because you could go to Reno too. But
Yeah.
um
Been there, done that.
yeah, and it'd be quick, but yeah, it'd be funner just to do a whole thing out of it. I don't know, 3, 4 hours depending on what kind of stops they do or something, and go do something in the city and spend the night and
Big
then
shit.
come back or something. Yeah, the big old sitter. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, well, that will be awesome. Just started off with the car museum and just a little link rail and have some
Yeah,
fun.
I might see if his buddy could have a slumber party one night, maybe Thursday night.
Fun. Yeah, are you taking any days
Because a
off
lot of these,
for that week?
not really. No, I I'm trying to. I mean, they offered to let me take some days off, but I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
your girl's gotta stack some cash right now.
heard that.
And
Heard
yeah,
that.
and like prove myself to this
Hmm.
company. So
Hmm.
no days off, dude. No days off.
Love that.
But yeah, we might have a little slumber party Thursday night.
Fun. Fun. And then
And then maybe cousin slumber party the following weekend, which you will be here.
that's what I was gonna say. And then I'll be there. Well, I'll be there that weekend because spring break's
Yeah,
the first week of April and I get in on the 6th of April.
perfect.
So super excited. Something that probably
Also,
won't make a difference to any of you listeners that we can record in person, but it makes a
I
huge
have a
difference to
spare
us.
room if you need a place to stay
Cool. Yeah.
right off of the app, Biosh.
My
We can go
mom
and get fucking freaky.
hates me not going back to her
Yes.
house, but I don't care. It's down the street. What difference does it make when I'm just
Yeah.
sleeping? I'm like, no, it's fine. No, I would love that. Yes, I would
Yeah.
absolutely love to use that spare room. Um, I don't know if
So
you
when's
guys can
your
all hear it still, but I again have just this ongoing not full voice yet. A little bit of a
interesting?
weird cough once in a while. It's so fucking annoying and better just be gone by then because I don't know what it is, but
It will be gone.
it's gotta be. It's gotta be. So
What is your agenda for when you're here?
I don't have much of an agenda for when I'm up there. So I haven't been to Washington since the Sturdy Dirty in July. And I have to keep going through my brain because like I look at photos to try and I think or I have photos in my mind and they were of like you and I when we went to Gig Harbor and rode and did that night. And I'm like, that was like
That was two
in
years.
September, but then I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy fuck. It was July that I was up there, and then the last week or few days that I was there was when Andrew came back from Alaska. So we get a little busy with the dogs and doing some other stuff together and whatnot. So I'm like, oh my God, like I just suddenly was like, I have to go, even though I'm gonna be back there for the Sturdy Dirty in July. And hopefully that's, my longer trip and closer to 2 weeks. So I have a lot, that's not a lot of time at all, which is funny to think about. But for some reason, when you take that time off work, it seems like it's an eternity.
Yeah, especially when you come back and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah, totally. But anyway, I was like, I'm fucking doing it. It's that time of the year for us that, yeah, there's, except with the snow, then yeah, there could be still some really fun snowmobiling and whatnot. But I don't care. I have to go because if I wait, then like it's not gonna happen in May or June. So, um, I gotta see my babies.
Yeah, you do,
And
girl. They grow fast.
yeah, I thought about the fact that I didn't have any pictures with me and Thomas, my most recent nephew. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get pictures of him with him while he's still a baby. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta go home for a quick trip and got on the interwebs one night and tickets have finally seemed to go back down to close to what they were a couple years ago for the trip from Reno to Seattle. So I was like, I can't wait and just booked it. Um, and then I told people that I was taking it off. Because I'm like, I'm not missing this opportunity on this like cheap of a flight. And like I said, my niece has been calling me, not a lot, or I mean, for a 4-year-old asking, to
Yeah.
talk to me and stuff. And the last time I talked to her was adorable. It was right before I bought my ticket, but had already been thinking like I really want to go home real quick in April. And they were riding their bikes, and she was like, "Okay, so next week you'll come over to our house and spend the night." And I was like, "Okay, well, it's gonna be a few weeks, but you got it, sister. Like you have no idea how much that was like the catalyst to buying like getting on and buying the ticket. Like this girl's more ready for me than I am or anyone else, so gotta go. So yeah, really just hanging out. There's some sturdy dirty stuff going on that week. I know you mentioned there's a group ride, and I also saw there's like a cornering clinic. But
Your
I'm
girl
not,
needs that. I
dude,
need that.
totally. And it's like a Tuesday night. I was gonna send the info to you.
Yes, I can do that. Let's
It's
go.
costly.
Ooh.
I mean, it's $140. So it's not like super costly or anything, but just for me to
Yeah.
get a bike also, and yeah, just
Plus
kind of I'm trying to
I'm
pack
I
light.
I don't think I can. I'm
Yeah,
like booking summer camps for Quincy and I just
I know. I know. It's much needed, and I totally understand. Obviously, like charge the people and what your worth is. But
yes.
unfortunately, yeah, right now where my cards are, I'm like, oh, I don't think I
Yeah.
can do that. Plus, that's probably I can't remember how much it costs to rent the bike last time. I could probably find one, but still, I'm just like, I can't
I'll put the word out there. I'll tell my people. I'll talk to Adriel because I think that he might have some stuff.
for a bike.
Also, yeah, for borrowing a bike, a mountain bike.
Mhm.
Also, if people want to buy us a coffee and we could put that towards this clinic, that would be really radical of our amazing community.
It would be because that any link in our bio, past the kind of main show notes of the guests or anything, the buy me a coffee, the Dovetail link, and the Ned link. Those are all affiliates that go straight back to producing this podcast. But by buying us a coffee, and if funds are able to actually go into the production of this podcast, that leaves a little extra money in our pockets to do things like this clinic. And even even so, in the other way of thinking about it is these things for me are they give us content. They're things we
Yeah.
love, and that's what I love about the podcast is we're talking about things we love. And so we're going to do the things we love so that we can come talk about it and share it. And for us to be able to have this experience, I've done a very basic level like clinic, but I really want to do a more
Mountain
in-depth,
bikes.
yeah, more in-depth
Mm.
skills clinics and things like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it would 100% support that. And obviously, as we're going into sturdy dirty season, you guys are not going to hear us like not talk about it. We're
Yeah.
not gonna stop talking about it until probably August, late August, after we're done reeling off of it. Or I guess early
Yeah.
August since it's the beginning of July. But yeah, any little dollar there that you can donate, or if you buy stuff from those affiliate links, like I said, that's money that doesn't have to come straight out of our pockets to produce this podcast. Right now, it doesn't cost a lot for us to do it, but it still costs us. And
Yeah.
and you girls are just trying to make it like all of us out there.
Hmm. Yeah. Things are expensive.
Yeah, things are expensive. But we always try to pay it forward with our friends and guests too. But that was our little ad for our own selves because that's something I've also been learning is like, duh, talk
Yeah.
about your show, talk about your shit. Which also kind of reminds me of training. I have not started to make a training plan, strength training plan for the Sturdy Dirty yet, but it is on my to-do list, and my goal is to have it done before May 6th so that it's a full 2-month plan.
Fuck yeah,
Because I just
baby.
know that with what I've got going down right now, April's going to be busy. So I got to give myself plenty of time to kind of chip away at it. But look out for that. I I do want to make something that's available to the people, and it's not necessarily gonna, it doesn't have to be race specific, right? Because as we've talked about a million times, the Sturdy Dirty, there's a fun aspect to it. Not everyone's doing it on a super competitive level, which is how I look at it. And but I still want to work out. This is like what we talked about with CrossFit. It's like you will it's easier to work out when you have a goal in mind. And if your goal is like
Yeah.
you just want to enjoy biking and your body and you want your body to feel good while you're biking, then that's kind of what the goal will be from this plan. And obviously it will help you be stronger if you are going to do a race, but the main goal of it is not to get you to be like the strongest and the bestest bike shape. It's going to be for anybody.
Yeah. Just to improve, just to
Yep.
like, improve here or
Overall,
there.
yep, the overall health and fitness of just what it takes to do these activities that we do, which it helps so much to do stuff off of the bike, off the snowboard, off the skis, off the snowmobile, off the whatever it is, to make sure you're just got a full, well-rounded, strong body. So keep
Yeah.
your eyes out for that. And also, if anyone is dying for it, like hit me up about it because that will make me get it done faster. Like, hey,
Me, I
where's
am.
that mountain bike workout plan? I am
Hmm.
ready to
Yeah.
get in shape, especially those of you who may live in an area like me where it's going to be a while before you're on dirt, or you got to drive far to it. So what can you do off the bike to help it? So yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, hit me up, bother me, all those things, but keep your eyes peeled for it. Yeah, I just want to put together a summer program after the fun we had with CrossFit.
Yeah, that was really great. I think I worked out for the first time since that this week at a V class. I did.
Mm.
Do they have V down there?
Nope, it's only up there.
Okay.
And actually, I
Interesting.
think some random state too.
Hmm.
I
Probably
believe Arizona.
Utah. Okay.
I think someone opened one in Arizona. That's all off the top of my head, but I fucking love the concept and idea of that gym for
Yeah.
sure.
It was great. I loved it. 2 days after and I'm still so sore. Still
I
very sore.
I believe no, the last time we chatted, I talked about like my struggles and falling off the train because I went back to CrossFit in January and February became a complete shit show emotionally, physically, all the things that because I was just couldn't get rid of this sickness. And then March, I went one day and I had only a few days left on my membership or something, and I was gonna go the next, and I thought my membership like ended on the 8th, but it was like done on the 8th, so I couldn't sign up. I was like, oh fuck. Like I thought that was gonna be my last day. Actually, I don't know, it was weird. But anyways, yeah, I feel like I'm in the worst shape of my life. So if anyone else
We can
out
get
there
you
feels
back.
it,
We can get
yeah.
you back, girl.
And just like I said,
Get you
that's
back.
stupid, just vicious cycle of this cold has really fucked things up
Yeah.
because stuffy nose, cough, it's really hard to work out. And
It affects everything.
Yeah, I mean, I could do minimal stuff, right? And try to keep my heart rate super, super low so that because it's when my heart rate gets up that really causes a cough or anything. But I just not been there mentally, but I am so ready to get back because now I have actually hit the point where I've been stagnant too long that I'm just craving moving
Yep.
my body so, so much. And you know what? Sometimes that's what it takes. It's like, um,
Hitting rock bottom.
yeah, totally. Like getting to that point, like, okay, time to do something. Like I tried to go out for a ski the other morning, but it was frozen solid, and I was like, fuck this. I'm not a skier. These are not like downhill skis. I don't know how to fucking turn them, and it's like I can't get an edge. I was like, I'll just walk down the road, and like I'm not gonna walk down the road, the frozen road, half mile in Nordic ski boots, like, and then walk back up it. So I just threw in the
Yes.
towel. So then yesterday I was like, I'm going for a walk. I
Good.
walked it instead, but it felt good, and I want to go back. I still do want to go back to CrossFit, especially because softball season will be here before we know it, and I got to get back on that team.
Today's opening day for the Mariners.
Really?
Yeah.
That feels early.
Yeah. I mean, my information might be incorrect. Let me Google it. But people
No,
were freaking out about it today.
I don't doubt it, but yeah, but I'm gonna wait till I get back from Washington, because I'm not gonna start something and then be gone a week, and
Yep.
still like
Versus
today's the
Boston,
day.
baby.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
wait, is it there in Boston or is it home?
I have
Well,
no
you said it's
idea.
opening day for the Mariners, so it's got to be home then.
So it would be here. Well, good to know. Now we
Maybe,
know.
I think, but yeah, here we go. Baseball season's here. There's not much snow in town at all.
Yeah. T-Mobile
Here.
Park.
Oh, cool. Go Mariners.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
Mariners.
But yeah, also it reminds me of things that you say often of like winter hibernating. Like
Yes.
that's who we are naturally. And when I think back to Cherie and Ayurveda, like yeah,
Yeah.
winter, your movement should
Decreases
change.
major.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it should, and you should do these like kind of slower things, and whatever you subscribe to, like good for you. I mean, hit it hard every day. I definitely am not subscribing to like all winter long. I'm just gonna do nothing, but it does make me feel a little bit better about my overall mentality of not having the natural energy.
Yes. Yeah. It's
So,
real. It's just in us.
and just
And
life.
thank
And
God for winter sports though.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank God.
Yeah, but I'm ready to I'm also scared as shit. I don't want to be sore
Yeah.
for like two
It's
weeks.
so and it's just like so intimidating and so hard to start over again because you're
hmm
like you have this idea of what your body and you are capable of and then once you're like starting over from the ground up, you're like
hmm
fuck, I have a long way to go.
And I'm trying to
But
be
but it
real. Go ahead.
it just feels so good once you do. It
It
feels so
does.
good.
The hardest part is getting there and
Yep.
starting, but I'm trying to be real with myself because I definitely make up excuses all the time. Like, oh, it hasn't been that long, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's where I also don't start light enough because I'm like, no, it hasn't been too long. I can go ahead and lift that. And then that's when I don't walk for a week. And obviously, and then I'm not able to get in a good routine. But I'm like, okay, I went back to CrossFit a few days in January after taking over a year off and having intermittent workouts through the gym that I was going to or working out at home and stuff. And I did CrossFit, and that was great, but definitely a different type of workout than full on CrossFit with like
Yeah.
heavy weights and different movement patterns. So yeah, I'm like, no girl, definitely in the worst shape of your life, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, but we can also then turn that to being in the best shape of my life.
Yes. Yes, because it
So
can only
that's
go up from there.
yeah, just trying to look at that of like, it's not like there's a ceiling for me just because I feel like I'm in the worst shape right now doesn't mean that I'm only going to max out to where I last was. I mean, I can
Yeah.
surpass anything that I've ever done. So that's what I'm going to try to do.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, yeah. So in that way, I'm ready for spring and summer, but I don't want it to be here too fast because I still want time to start
Yes.
building up to that. And, I'm worried that all of a sudden it's going to be summer. I'm like, oh yeah, remember that like
You have a race
surpassing
to
all
train for?
this, and yeah,
Yeah.
like didn't happen. Um, but yeah, hopefully spring for everyone else out there is blooming and they're
Yeah, for
moving
real.
on or starting new things or whatever.
Of all the season transitions, this one's definitely my favorite.
Mm.
It's just so great when things start waking up outside and you can get your hands in the dirt and start planting seeds and watching all the flowers bloom and
You
weather
have,
starts warming up, the days are longer, like it just all of it, all of it. It gives you like such hope for the future, you know what I mean? It's
I
like,
love that. You have such a brighter outlook on it than I do. I wouldn't say mine's
oh
like,
yeah,
yeah. So obviously I hate fall. I hate summer to fall so much.
hate
But
it,
I
hate it.
like spring to summer a
Mm,
little bit more. And it's because in the winter, I go through this hard time that's almost like my summer to fall, where when the snow starts melting and there's just patches of snow and dirt, I'm like, this is
yes,
so ugly. I hate it. I just want it to all
yes,
go away and be fresh. Like, I hate the slow transition out of winter to spring. I'm like, just be over, just end it. Like, let me just
yes.
ride the dirt, or let me like ride good snow. So yeah, I feel like maybe that's just because here it's a little bit of a longer kind of,
Transition.
yeah, stagnant
Thousand.
period where you're not, the awakening is coming, but it's like, okay, not here yet. So,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, I mean,
that's
like
real,
last
dude.
year, that wasn't, I feel like that really wasn't until like June that you're like, oh, there's all the flowers and stuff. But, I can appreciate what you mean for sure. And when it
Yeah.
hits that part of the season, I like it. But, because around here, that seems like it can be
Yeah,
late
dude.
in the spring. You're like, wait, no, I was supposed to be here already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's freaking real. Because
But
we
it
are in
does,
it now.
yeah.
It probably won't be there for you for another few months because
Y-
you're
At
higher
least,
elevated.
yeah, it depends really on how warm it gets and what other snow comes and whatnot. But hopefully I could get down the hill and do some biking on dirt because I got a lot of friends who are ready for it too. So, yeah, we just seem like we all hit that
I
stage in
think you
life
should
this year.
try to get one ride in before you come up here. And then maybe it'll like give you an assessment of where you're at on a mountain bike. And then we can potentially do that
Yeah,
Saturday before you
probably
do your
terrible.
training.
But yeah, I only got a couple of days though to do it is the
I
problem.
know.
I have Sunday.
No.
Uh, I was gonna actually ask one of my friends though, like, hey, you want to go down Sunday? But then I was like, well, we'll see what happens up here because I want to snowmobile if I can.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. See, and
But
then
I know,
then
I
and
hear you. I hear you.
that is also the issue with the transition from winter to spring is because it's like you don't want the snow to melt, you don't want winter to end, but also you're like, but I don't want to go ride my bike.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
like,
waiting period for sure.
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
around here
I
because we can get some lower elevation rides, but then still just and because we dry out pretty quick once the snow is gone. Like we have that climate, so once it melts, and you see the dirt, we can get on them fairly quickly and without worrying about trail erosion and things like that. But like with all the pavement that was out and my road was fully dirt the other day, I'm like, yeah, I want to bike to town. And then that's when weather came in the last 2 weeks on the days that I had available to do it, just to be on my bike at all and see what it felt
Yeah,
like. Just get my butt like in shape for sitting on the
dude,
saddle. I
the
did two Peloton
saddle.
classes this week, and like the second one I
Good
sat down, I was
job.
like, ow. Like,
Yeah, dude, I've
geez.
been struggling with that too. I'm like, oh yeah, that
Yeah.
thing
I
that
really
we have to.
Yeah, I started doing my outdoor spin bike and then of course now it's covered in snow again,
Snowed.
but
Yeah.
it's okay. All right. But
Uh,
anyways, glad y'all listened to us just talk a lot about bikes as usual, and
Yeah.
a little catch up.
And a little plug in there to help people buy us a coffee so that we can sponsor all of our things that we want to do in
Yeah.
our ambitious but low-funded lives.
Yes, look at these things as like we're not doing these just for like shits and giggles. That this stuff brings us content, and
Yeah.
that's what
And pure
people do
fucking
in
joy,
their life.
baby.
Yeah, is like, we're trying to monetize a
Improve.
little bit, and we got to have some of
Yeah.
the
And also
contents
share
to
the
bring in
knowledge.
the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So anyway, if you're
Mm-hmm.
in Washington doing the sturdy dirty or not, just want to improve your skills, check out that cornering clinic. Uh, maybe I'll try to link it in the show notes if I remember, but otherwise, um, I don't know, look at the sturdy dirty Instagram. I was trying to pop on the website and find something to share, but I can't do that right now. I can't multitask that hard. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that. And when we had that conversation with Margaret and Tasha, the snowmobile gals, Margaret talked about how, especially starting something later in life, like how much clinics have helped her because there's just not time. She barely has time to go out and ride. So she certainly
Yeah.
doesn't have time to just go fuck around and figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that I think that should be a new saying, not fuck around and find out, fuck around and figure it out.
Yeah.
Could we
Fuck around and figure it out.
coin that or something?
Yeah, I think we could.
Fuck around and figure it out.
Yeah.
I like that. Write that down.
Me too.
But yeah, so anyways, she was saying like I don't have time for that. So going to these skills clinics gives me the opportunity to get the information I need and I'm looking for right there, work on it, have someone there who
And
knows
help us
exactly what to
navigate.
do and can help me now.
Yeah.
And I love that and I want to do that, but obviously there's a barrier of entry to that, and that's usually cost.
Yeah.
And clinics and things are not cheap. So this cornering thing, $140 for a lot of people, that might not be much. But for us right now, like
Yeah, I'm trying to pay off my credit
yeah,
card.
it's like and again, it's really all just comes down to priorities at the moment, right? Like it's just it's a time
You've got a
constraint.
trip back home.
It's a
That don't
time
come at.
constraint. If I was
Yep.
driving and we had time, might be a whole different story, I'd be like $5 a day, let's put it in a bucket and see
Yeah.
where that gets us and stuff. But
Mhm.
we didn't plan it far enough in advance. If we can make it happen, we would, and maybe we can. But anyways, anyone else out there, go for it. Look into clinics if you can. Start a savings plan, which I will do for the next one.
Yes. Same, same.
Or a retreat or a vacation, a girls' trip to
Yeah.
Mexico is my next
Ooh,
dream.
all of it. All of it.
But yes, thanks for sticking around for this rambly TNA chat per usual. Hopefully, you could relate, learned about Easter, and oh man, Easter will have happened by the time you hear this, but it's still good knowledge for the next year
Yes.
and any year. And
Yes.
you'll know how to figure it out next year before you even look at the calendar.
Yeah.
Just look at the moon cycles.
Yes, exactly.
You have to look at the moon cycle calendar only. But yeah, we'll see where this leads us. I don't know really what's coming up in April. We don't have a content calendar of guests quite yet. But you will definitely hear from us again because like I said, we'll get to do an in-person podcast, which is always like
Yeah.
the highlight of my year, which
Such a
shit, we
treat.
average 2 a year.
Hey, take
But
what
hey,
you can.
exactly, exactly. All right, everybody, we will talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging in there, and goodbye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and would do us a huge favor, since we don't have any sponsors or anything like that, and would rate and review us on whatever platform it is you use, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, whatever it is. And if you're listening and downloading just through the website, tearingituppodcast.com, leave comments. We'll definitely engage back with you. And on social media right now, we're just on Instagram. Tearing It Up Podcast is the handle.
like the post, share the post, comment on the post, whatever it is you got. Show us your love so we just stay relevant and show up in the rankings at all. So again, rate and review, please, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.